And from the time that the daily sacrifice shall be taken away, and the abomination that maketh desolate set up, there shall be 1,290 days. Together, but go thy way, wait till the end be, for thou shalt rest and stand in thy lot at the end of the days. May the Lord add rich blessing, inspiration, encouragement to the reading of his holy word. You may be seated.
Look for the way, Max. You will have to stand. Hold it. Sister Hassel.
I have the privilege this morning to introduce our speaker. From the first day we met with him, he let us know straight away that he is a man of order and structure in what he's doing for God and what he expects from us as a church. He is the first pastor to me that I observe who mingled so free with the brethren like a loving father, that present the Daniel and the Revelation prophetic message in such a simple way. It puts me to think how the teachings of Jesus can be presented in a simple but powerful way. That really impress upon the hearts of God's people and open their understanding more. He is dynamic in a simple way. I introduce to you Pastor Rooseveldt Daniel. Amen.
Look for the way, Max.
Testing. Yes, it's getting there. Testing. Oh, yes. Yes, all right. Good morning, brethren.
Good morning.
I say good morning, brethren.
Good morning.
And I want to wish you all a very happy Sabbath.
Thank you.
I say happy Sabbath.
Happy Sabbath.
Yeah, I said it last night, but everybody was not here, so I'm wishing you a happy Sabbath again. Oh, before I forget, I want to thank Renetta for the kind words of introduction. I know she's here today with a great anticipation. Yeah, because she wants to know this thing about Teacher Carter. And so I promise her today, and it is true, I will clear it up, no doubt. And I want to say thanks to the choir. Everybody here can sing. Now, I mean, I'm not certain. I have to be certain that what I'm going to say, because somebody played for the choir. I know the choir director was conducting. Sorry, the musician was directing. But somebody was playing. Am I right? Yes. Yeah, okay, so I don't have to criticize again. You know what the criticism was going to be? I'll tell you. I don't believe choir should sing with canned music.
Okay, got you. I'll have you.
When you have musicians and instrument, somebody should be playing one of the live instruments for the choir. So in my crusades, I always make mention of it up front, that no canned music for the choir. For solos and duets, yeah, you can have your canned music. You know, what I mean by canned music, I'm talking about pre-recorded music.
Yes.
But when it comes to choir, it's supposed to be live music, live music. So while somebody was playing, thank you. But it was good.
Yes.
It was nice. And I'm enjoying myself here. I say I'm enjoying meeting with the brethren.
Okay, all right.
You know, we are all one.
All one?
I mean, I'm honest about it. I love to be among Seventh Adventists.
Amen.
I don't know for anybody, some people, they like to be by themselves and all that. I love to be among Seventh Adventists. Well, it's going to be my joy, my greatest joy when I get to heaven, to talk with all those Seventh Adventists, beginning with Adam.
Yes, Seventh-day Adventist.
I mean, one of my favorite ladies was Rahab. So when Rahab became a Seventh Adventist, I want to know what led her.
Okay.
And I also want to know, well, why she married Salmon. If Salmon was one of those spies.
Yes.
Man, a whole lot of things I have to ask these people, all these Seventh Adventists. So it's going to take me a whole 1,000 years. Because it's going to be general conference session. No, he not believe me, you know. Now, somebody does not believe me. Heaven, the 1,000 years. It's not going to be a waste of time. It's going to be general conference session. It's like when we have general conference session here, all the churches from all over the world gather. Well, so it's going to be in heaven for 1,000 years. It's just that it's going to be a wider thing, much wider, because we now have to, I mean, it's not just the people in this world as it is now, but in worlds gone by.
Yes, yes, yes.
Eh? Well, listen here. And somebody does not believe me, but I'm going to convince him today. See, I don't let anything come out of my mouth unless it's true. It got to be true. So, Hebrews chapter 12. But now, let me see if I can find the exact verse. Yeah. Yes. And it says here, verse 22. Hebrews 12 and verse 22. By the way, you all got to take out your iPads and so on to do some reading, because we're experiencing a little problem with the computer. You understand?
Okay, okay.
So anything you see is not the brother's fault.
All right.
There's an experience. Anything that man makes has a problem. Now, listen here. It says here. I don't want to show you now. But, it says, but we are come to Mount Zion, and unto the city of the living God, and the heavenly Jerusalem, and to an innumerable company of angels. Verse 23 now. To the general assembly of the church of the firstborn. Boy.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. General Assembly.
The general conference. God bless you. I can't wait to be in that general. You know, I mean, at one time, Godfrey, I used to wonder, well, why are we going to spend 1,000 years in heaven for? And, because, you see, I love farming. And I never hear that we're going to do any farming in heaven. I know it's on a new earth. We're going to plant. You know, so I'm anxious to get back. But then, when I realized that that 1,000 years is not a wasted 1,000 years, it's a general conference. When God wants us to mingle with all the different peoples. My last general conference session there, I was amazed, boy, because listen, for the first time I was meeting people from Fiji.
Wow.
And I was meeting people from Papua New Guinea. The hotel I stayed is something like 800 plus people from Papua New Guinea that were there. Whoa. And so I talked with them, and I realized that Seventh-day Adventists are Seventh-day Adventists wherever you are.
Amen, amen.
They are solid Seventh-day Adventists. And I remember there was one of them by the name of Kellen. I marked her name because my wife is Helen, so she's Kellen. She said that in Papua New Guinea, they don't have to buy food. So they could save everything to come to general conference session. He said, anything you put in the ground, it just grows.
Okay, okay.
And the afternoon when, one of the issues was women ordination.
Yeah.
So we were traveling on the bus, that afternoon. And when the news came to us in the bus there that the general conference session has voted down women ordination one more time, Helen breathed, she sighed. She said, in our country, the women are powerful. And she said it again.
Okay.
The women are powerful. So I said, boy, Adventists, all over. We think the same way. We are one people. So that's why wherever I go, and I am in the presence of my brethren, I feel comfortable. I've never been here in this country, but I feel comfortable among you.
Yes.
It doesn't matter where you come from. I don't favor the divisions over the Guyanese or the St. Vincents or the people from this place. No, we are all one.
One.
Just believe it. I love Seventh Adventists. Today the subject is, and at that time shall Michael stand up. I'm a little tempted because there are times when I do better without any notes, especially in this series. The notes sort of tie me down. I cannot do what I want to do and say what I want to say at times. So if I move away from here to talk to you, it's because I'm tied up with notes. Let's bow our heads. Eternal God, bless your saints. These are your people. And the reason that you brought me here is to solidify them in the message. So that when they have to make that powerful decision, Christ or Satan, Sabbath or Sunday, truth or error, they will know to stand with you. Bless your church, I pray, in Jesus' name. Now, don't take these meetings lightly because there are a lot of breakaway so-called movements in the Seventh Adventist Church today.
True.
One man. And I want to tell you something here. Anybody who knows the Bible and understands this message and you go and join a one-man church, you're downright stupid. You're dumb. In Nevis, in school, we used to call you dunce. I say, anybody who going to leave the organized church, a worldwide church, and feel like you are the one that God is now using, you're dumb.
Dumb.
Stupid. Anytime you do that, the moment you do that, Renata, you have just surrendered your soul salvation to the devil. All these one church, this one man movement, all they are concerned about is your money. And next Sabbath, I will put you straight. Because they are misusing the writings of Mrs. White.
True.
Now, I'm going to fire a shot across your bow because it is a burden to me. Anytime you hear anybody stand in front of you and begin to quote, Sister White says, Sister White says, Sister White says, that person is dangerous. They are misusing Mrs. White's writing. I tell you now, never you lead with the writings of Mrs. White. No.
That's right.
Mrs. White's writings are from God, but they are not the lead. It is always the Bible.
Greater light. The greater light.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Like I was in Anguilla earlier this year. And every night I came out, this sister come to me. Sister White said, Sister White said. I had to stop her. But thank God, she had a good attitude because she said, thank you, Pastor. I said, never you lead with Mrs. White writing. Never. Always the scriptures. I am a firm believer in the spirit of prophecy.
Yes.
But I don't lead with Mrs. White writing. Now, Daniel, let me read that text for you. And at that time shall Michael stand up. Listen to what it says here. I like the text. Why, one of the most powerful texts in the Bible. It says, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And it tells you when Michael is going to stand up. He says there is going to be a time of trouble such as never was. Since there was a nation even at the same time. And it says, and at that time, thy people shall be delivered. So Michael is standing up to deliver God's people. Why? Because they are in trouble. You all don't get that.
Yes,
They're in trouble. But Michael is going to stand up to deliver God's people. Everyone that is found written in the book. Now, I have a subject in the higher series. See, there's another series to this.
Okay.
But it is advanced to this one.
All right.
And the title of that subject is, and at that time, the wise shall shine. And I begin by letting everybody there know that I believe that our Lord is coming back to this earth.
Yes.
But not today and not tomorrow. And you ask me, Pastor, why? Why you say? He said, no man know it today. I say, I didn't say I know when, but I say he's not coming tomorrow, neither next week.
Truth.
I know that, I'm sure. Why? Because it says that Michael is going to stand up when God's people are in trouble.
Okay.
And we are not yet in trouble.
Okay. Yeah. Good logic.
So I know he's not coming next week. Now, Daniel 10, 11, and 12 are Daniel's last vision. Come on, we're going to do a lot of reading. Yeah. And chapter 10 is the introduction to this last vision. Chapter 11 is the vision itself. And chapter 12 now is what we call the postscript to the book of Daniel. Now, remember what I said to you early on. That the vision of chapter 2, the image, God gives it how many times?
7 times.
I told you, how many times?
7 times.
Come on, say it to me, say it with confidence. How many times this vision, the image was given, this parade of nations? How many times?
7 times.
It's 7 times. Now, if you don't believe me, then all you have got to do is to have patience and wait. For I will present them to you one by one. Thus far, I have presented to you, how many of them? Come on, how many of them I presented to you?
3.
Come on, how many?
3.
We are Daniel 2. Come on, help me now. We are Daniel 2.
Yep.
With the image of gold. Come on.
That's right.
Help me. The arm and the breast of silver.
That's right.
That's Medo Persia. And the belly and the thigh of brass. Greece. The legs of iron, what? Rome. And the feet and the toes, Europe. Come on. Am I making sense here? Then the second time that God gave the same vision was in Daniel 7.
Daniel 7.
Come on, help me now.
Yes, sir.
Am I making sense here? It was the lion. That's Babylon. Then the bear is whom? Is Greece. It's the same vision. And then the leopard is what? Is Greece. And the lion, the beast with, call it there.
Nondescript.
Nondescriptive beast is whom?
Rome.
Is Rome. And then when you come to the horn, with the little horn, that's Europe. That's a church now. The church. The papacy. So now it is not just Europe, but it's the papacy.
Yes.
That is added information. Then Thursday night, it was the third time.
Yes.
In Daniel 8.
Daniel 8.
But this time it began with a ram. And the ram is whom? Medo Persia. Come on, help me now.
Yes.
It's Medo Persia. But now, we notice there that there is a shift.
Yes, tell us.
Something has changed.
Something has changed.
Somebody is not there. Who is not there?
Babylon.
Somebody has gone out the door.
Babylon.
And who is that that's gone out of the door?
Babylon.
It's Babylon. Why Babylon is gone out the door? Is it that Babylon, wait there, what happened to Babylon? Because Babylon is no longer relevant to the plan of salvation. She cannot affect the plan of salvation again. Because she is defeated. She's a weak nation. She no longer has Jesus in her. Wait. Are you all with me?
Yes, all the way.
Come on, are you all with me?
Yes, ma'am.
And then we have the he-goat. Who is the he-goat?
Greece.
It's Greece. Come on, am I talking sense here?
Yes, Greece.
And then now, listen now. If the ram is Medo Persia, and the he-goat is Greece, then there is no doubt that the other power must be Rome and Rome.
Rome. Yes.
That's how that's the order. So you can't come and tell me that after Greece, it is Turkey. Hey, am I making sense here?
Yeah.
After Greece, it is pagan Rome.
Pagan Rome.
Come on, the emperors.
Yes.
And after pagan Rome, it has to be whom?
Papal Rome.
It has to be the papacy. Are you all with me?
All the time.
You got to be the papacy. Well, that's the same thing we are going to be dealing with here this morning.
Okay.
This last vision. We are not beginning with Babylon because Babylon is gone.
Right.
So what I told you all from the beginning, it stands.
Yes.
And what I told you, any nation, could you give me a little sharpness again? any nation that is mentioned in scriptures, it is because that nation has something to do. It plays a role in the final outcome of the plan of salvation. And if a nation is not, yes, thank you. And if a nation is not relevant to the plan of salvation, that nation is not mentioned.
That's right.
And I gave you an example. The very first time Egypt was mentioned in the Bible was Genesis chapter 12.
Right.
Why? Because Abraham, who carried Jesus,
Yes.
went down there. You all didn't hear me, you know.
Yes, ma'am, we hear you.
That's how it happens. So when you open your Bible now, you can understand it better. When you read a nation, that is why you are not going to find China.
No China.
No reference to Russia either. No reference to any of them. No Japan. Because none of them had anything to do
The
with
plan.
Jesus.
Okay.
Now, brethren, today we are looking at the last of the Parade of Nations.
Okay.
This is the fourth time now
Yes.
that God is giving this vision.
Yes.
It started with Daniel 2. Then it continued with Daniel 7.
7
And by the time we came to Daniel 8, Babylon was gone.
was gone.
Well, here, Babylon is gone too.
Okay.
Now, when we come to Revelation, do you expect to find Medo-Persia and Greece?
No, they're gone.
Oh,
Gone.
I mean, listen, brethren, I'm telling you the truth. I like talking to you all because somehow, I don't know if everybody, but somehow I have people here who are thinking.
Okay.
And that's how it's supposed to be, because Revelation, Daniel Revelation, you are not supposed to be spoon-fed. This is something for you to think.
Okay.
If you can't put one and one together, you can never understand Daniel Revelation. So by the time we come to Revelation, there will not be any Medo-Persia, nor Greece.
No, sir.
Because they don't appear in the New Testament.
That's right.
By the time Jesus was born, it was Rome.
Rome.
When he went back to heaven, still Rome.
Rome.
And the church was given the opportunity, the commission to go into all the world and preach the gospel. And who persecuted them? Come on, who persecuted the church?
Pagan
Rome.
people Rome.
And when pagan Rome, when Satan couldn't destroy the church by pagan Rome, whom he turned to? Satan
Rome.
joined the church. Satan became a member of the church. That is what we call apostasy.
Yes.
That is why Revelation now, Revelation open, tonight we are going to be dealing, Revelation opens with the church.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Hey, does it make sense to you, boy?
Yes, making more sense. Man.
Huh? Plenty sense, huh? All right, Nibijan. I don't like you more than I like him. Okay. So you don't think that because you're a Nibijan and you went to the same school I went to, that I like you more. No. I like him too. So now, let us turn to Daniel 11. And we're going to look at the Parade of Nations. Look at the Parade of Nations. Now, Daniel 11. We're going to read much of it. I'm going to show you where. I'm going to show you, he's going to tell you about Medo-Persia, start with Medo-Persia, and then moves to Greece. Well, obviously, after Greece is what? After Greece is what? Is Rome. So all we're going to do this morning is read the Bible. But whatever we are reading, we must end up with Michael standing up. All right, let us begin from verse 1. Daniel chapter 11 and verse 1. Let me let me turn to it just in case we don't get it on the screen. Okay, Daniel 11. You all got it?
Yes.
You all got it?
Yes.
Now, Julian, tell everybody that I want them to read loudly. Because this is the message this morning. This is the word. Come on, let us read now. Daniel chapter 11. And we are going to begin from verse 1.
Together.
Everybody.
Also I.
Hold on, everybody.
Also I, in the first year of Darius
the Mede, even I stood to confirm and to strengthen him. Right.
And now will I shew thee the truth. Behold, there shall stand up yet 3 kings in Persia, and the 4th shall be far richer than they all. And by his strength through his riches he shall stir up all against the realm
Hold
of
on.
Greece.
So now we begin with Medo-Persia.
Yes, Medo-Persia.
We begin with whom?
Medo-Persia.
Why? Because Medo-Persia at this point still had a role to play. And if you don't understand, let me explain to you. In Daniel chapter 10, Daniel saw Cyrus on the throne. Now, who was prophesied in Isaiah to release the captives?
Cyrus.
It was Cyrus. Now, Cyrus was now on the throne.
Yes.
And Daniel knew the prophecy. And Daniel noticed that Cyrus is not passing the decree. So guess what? Daniel became worried. And he began to pray.
Yes.
Is something wrong now? I mean, you cut it off from here. All right. So Daniel began to pray. And he prayed for 21 days.
Yes.
And in that 21 days, why, nothing happened. And all of a sudden, somebody came. And who was that somebody?
Gabriel.
No, Gabriel said, for 21 days, from the very beginning, when you began to pray, I was sent to answer your prayer.
Okay.
But the prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me for 3 weeks, 21 days. Who is that prince that was withstanding? It wasn't Cyrus. Cyrus was under the control of somebody.
Satan.
Because, you see, God already said that Cyrus was going to free the Jews. And Satan realized that, and Satan entered the heart of Cyrus to stop God. So poor Gabriel was there fighting to get Cyrus to sign the decree. And Cyrus would not, because the devil hold back his hand. And Gabriel was fighting the devil to sign the decree. My goodness. And what a fight it was. It ended up in a draw because Satan couldn't beat Gabriel and Gabriel couldn't beat Satan. And eventually somebody bigger than Gabriel had to step forward. And that somebody was Michael.
Michael.
And when Michael showed up, Satan backed out. Well, we are going to talk about who this Michael is.
Michael.
Michael and his angels fought, and the dragon fought, and prevailed not. So this is the role of Medo-Persia. So now let's continue. Let us continue here.
Right.
Now, 11:2, is there? And a mighty king shall stand up, that shall rule with great dominion and do according to his will. Now, this would be Darius. Not Darius the Media, but Darius of Persia. The one who came long after. He was the one who gave the second decree to build the temple because, it was stopped. Now, continue now.
When he shall stand up, his kingdom shall
be broken.
And shall be divided toward the 4 winds of heaven, and not to his posterity.
Hold on, I think we are in the wrong one here. Get back.
Verse 2?
No, get back to verse 2.
Verse 2, all right.
Verse 2, What we have here?
And
now I will show thee the truth. Behold, there shall stand up how many?
3 kings.
3 kings
in Persia.
And the 4th shall be far richer
than
they all. And by his strength, through his riches, he shall stir up against the realm of Greece. So here we have two of the of the powers mentioned.
Yes.
So after these must be whom?
Greece.
Rome. Now we are going to skip. We're going on to verse 14 because we are passing Medo Persia and Greece because we have to get into the meat of it. What it says here now from verse 14, Rome, the empire is introduced in verse 14 to verse 29. So let's read them now. Let's read now. Now Rome is introduced under the caption, the robbers. Look at it there. Come here. Wait there. Verse 14. What it says here. And in those times there shall many stand up against the king of the south. Also the robbers of thy people. The robbers of thy people. Now why is that Rome is called the robbers of God's people? Because of the heavy taxes.
Taxes. Okay.
That they put on the Jews. And that's why people like Zacchaeus and Matthew were hated because they were taxing the people for the Romans. They call them publicans. The robbers of the people.